this video, we're going to talk about some of the processing wait time changes we've seen with the USCIS in the last few months.
We know that the whole immigration journey can be really overwhelming, confusing, and scary, and the processing wait times or how fast you will get your green card plays a major role in how your immigration experience will look like. But we do have some great news for you, so make sure to watch the entire video.
Remember, this channel is a place to learn how to confidently handle your own marriage immigration, coming from two lawyers who went through this exact same process together. So make sure to like this video and click subscribe.
And by the way, if you're new to this process, download our free mini course where we break down all the marriage, green card, immigration options. We know you are at a place where you have a lot of questions and very few answers, so this guide will help you understand what your options are and what's the best approach for you, really. You can download it completely for free using the link in the description. Here's the interesting thing about processing wait times. When I was going through my own immigration in 2013, which by the way, I went through the Seattle field office. My biometrics, interview, and multiple different InfoPass appointments with the USCIS happened there. But the processing times were fairly fast back then. It took about 4 to 5 months for me to get my conditional green card. However, at some point, Seattle field office became one of the busiest in the nation, and the wait times there really skyrocketed, just like they did obviously everywhere else, mostly due to pandemic, but it does look like the processing times are going back down even in the busiest field offices. So let's get into it, and we will make sure to show you how you can find some of this information on your own.
Now, having and understanding this information is super important, as it sets up how fast your case will go and lays the foundation for your entire immigration journey, so that you're not constantly worried about whether you're on the right track, and so that you begin to feel more confident about your ability to handle this process. And that's really the whole point. Remember, as soon as your application is in the USCIS possession, it's outside of your control, and there's truly no need to stress about it when you know that you did everything correct.
First thing you need to know is that when you file for a marriage adjustment of status, or in other words, a marriage green card from inside the US, generally you and your spouse must attend an interview. At this interview, the immigration officer asks you about your relationship and generally assesses the case to see if you have any inadmissibilities, etc. Obviously, it's by far the most stressful part of this entire immigration journey because you have direct communication with the USCIS officer. It's stressful, their buildings are gray and scary, a lot of people are in line, everybody's nervous. But this interview portion is what also created a major green card backlog, since the USCIS has limited human resources to conduct those interviews.
So what did the USCIS do? Well, they introduced an official policy of waiving these interviews in certain categories, which marriage green card falls under one of them. What it did is it reduced the wait times from 2 years plus to about 8 months, and sometimes even less. By the way, make sure to watch the video where we discuss specific timeline examples of members of our program, because those timelines are truly inspiring. To give you a hint, it often takes significantly less than those 4 to 5 months in Seattle back in 2013.
Additionally, we know that the USCIS increased the number of employees who process these applications, and they even introduced some new tech to process green cards faster. But what about work permits? Obviously, a work permit is just as important for many immigrants because that gives them an ability to work while their green card is pending.
Just recently, there was a huge backlash from immigrant organizations demanding that the USCIS start processing work permits, or EADs, faster. The current processing times listed on the USCIS website range from 10 to 18 months depending on your service center. That being said, in our experience, it goes in one of two ways. We've seen a ton of work permits approved on the day of biometrics, meaning as soon as the USCIS collects your fingerprints, your work permit is approved, which takes about 1 to 2 months after sending the entire application to the USCIS.
But sometimes the work permit gets stuck and applicants don't hear back from the USCIS for months. And the unfortunate thing is that we often see two identical cases sent to the exact same service center. One work permit gets approved right away, and then another one is pending for months while expedite requests are being denied, which, by the way, you can expedite your work permit. The USCIS website gives you some information on it, and we will make sure to make a detailed video guide on how to do that for yourself. Finally, let me show you how to check the USCIS processing wait times on your own. Just Google the USCIS processing times, and the first link will take you to the right place. From there, select the form you're curious about, which I will first do the I-485 or the green card form, and then I will show you how to do the work permit. Your service center will be listed on your receipt notice after you submit your application to the USCIS, and this is how it's done.
If you've already applied for your green card, let us know in the comments when you applied, what your timeline is looking like, and have you gotten your work permit yet? What your service center is, and if you're about to apply, share which city and state you'll be applying from, and approximately when, so that we can track your timeline as well.
Just a reminder, we want to hear from you guys, and we absolutely love going through your comments and engage with you in whatever way we can. And if you haven't yet, get your free copy of our Ultimate Guide to Marriage Immigration mini course. It will help you better understand how your marriage green card process will look like, and it will also help you decide on what is the best approach for you. We also list which forms need to be filled out for each of those options, and it's just generally super valuable.
Otherwise, subscribe to our channel and we'll see you next week with our newest video.